In the meantime, let's go back to New York City. Want to get some updates on the case that is unfolding there regarding Sean Diddy Combs.
Kooky, and it seems like they're just leaning into it. Like there's no course correction at all. Just leaning into the kooky.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Sean Diddy Combs is back in the spotlight, but this time it's not for his music or legendary parties. The courtroom drama surrounding him has taken a dramatic turn as his high-powered legal team launches an aggressive challenge to the evidence against him. Their latest move hinges on what they claim is a significant procedural error by law enforcement, a potential game changer that could pave the way for the music mogul to walk free. With the stakes higher than ever, his defense team is pulling out all the stops, aiming to set a precedent that could reverberate through the justice system. The question now looms, will justice prevail or will power tip the scales? Let's break down how Diddy's top-tier lawyers are reshaping the narrative and keeping everyone guessing.
Exactly. You're just like, it's there. I mean, it's not just there. It's everywhere. My news feed is dominated by it. Fox News, CNN, everyone. There's raids at Diddy's house.
For months, Sean Diddy Combs has been at the center of a media storm, facing allegations that could shatter his empire and leave him facing decades behind bars. The charges against him are severe, painting a grim portrait of someone accused of manipulation, coercion, and orchestrating events that left a trail of trauma. His arrest in September sent shockwaves across the globe, and as the investigation unfolded, the revelations grew increasingly alarming. From claims of secret gatherings to allegations of witness tampering, the legal battle has been nothing short of explosive. Prosecutors are fighting fiercely to keep Diddy in custody, but his defense team has now unveiled a strategy that could shift the course of the case entirely. At the center of this latest courtroom clash are handwritten notes seized during a raid of Diddy's jail cell at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Prosecutors claim these notes are a smoking gun, evidence of Diddy's alleged efforts to influence witnesses and uncover compromising information about his accusers from behind bars. Assistant U.S. Attorney Christy Slavic described the notes as detailing plans to bribe witnesses and instructing family members to gather damaging information on his alleged victims. For the prosecution, these notes are far more than scribbles. They are key evidence of obstruction that could justify keeping Diddy detained until his trial.
So I would imagine if you're the CIA, you're like, okay, we're looking for people who have gone through these things in their life that have curated this kind of like personality type.
Well, isn't it just like part of the gig? Like here's for instance, like your bit about Puffy.
Diddy's legal team isn't backing down. Led by Mark Agnifilo, a seasoned attorney renowned for handling high-profile cases, the defense is fiercely challenging the use of the seized notes. Agnifilo argues that the raid not only violated Diddy's constitutional rights, but also breached attorney-client privilege. According to the defense, the notes were part of privileged communications between Diddy and his legal team, outlining defense strategies and confidential discussions that should have been protected from investigators. In a heated court hearing, Agnifilo stated firmly, "The bottom line is that no multi-agency law enforcement initiative justifies rifling through Mr. Combs' personal handwritten notes detailing conversations with his lawyers." The prosecutor's arguments to the contrary lack all credibility, and with this bold stance, the defense is seeking to undermine the prosecution's case, framing the seizure as an overreach that could taint the entire investigation.
At the courthouse in Lower Manhattan, the judge ordering the prosecution to turn over its findings from a jail cell raid, Diddy's jail cell, just yesterday. What were the contents of those raids?
Well, apparently, according to the defense, their legal documents, the government saying no, on the contrary, they're just some handwritten notes and a calendar.
And this isn't just legal posturing. The defense is building its case on serious constitutional grounds. They argue that the raid violated Diddy's 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment rights, asserting that the search was unconstitutional and that the seized materials should have never been shared with prosecutors. The cornerstone of their argument is the claim that the notes were obtained during what they call an institutional failure, a pretextual sweep disguised as a routine search for contraband. Mark Agnifilo has gone a step further, demanding surveillance footage of the raid. He suggests the operation may have specifically targeted Diddy rather than being part of a standard security protocol. If proven, this could bolster the defense's claims that the search was improper and designed to undermine Diddy's right to a fair trial.
I think it's over.
You think it's over?
I think it's over for him as like a figure in entertainment.
Right. But do you think it's over as him as far as like he gets a cell right next to R. Kelly?
I don't think so.
The defense's strategy is unmistakable: to undermine the prosecution's credibility by portraying the seizure of the notes as a reckless and unlawful overreach. If successful, it could deliver a serious blow to the prosecution's case. Should the court determine that the notes were improperly obtained, prosecutors may be compelled to exclude them as evidence, a move that could weaken their claims of obstruction and witness tampering. For Diddy, this could significantly shift the legal landscape in his favor, bolstering his chances of securing bail or even leading to the dismissal of certain charges. It's a high-stakes gamble, but one that could radically alter the course of the trial.
That's it. If it is privilege, of course they won't. But if it really is what the prosecution says, that has nothing to do with the case, or even worse, it's actually evidence of witness tampering, because we all know the attorney-client privilege, there's a crime fraud exception. You can't use your lawyer to perpetuate a future or continuing fraud or crime. So if the documents are what the government says they are, they're going to get them again. And again, it's just going to be a matter of days, because I don't expect.
The prosecution, however, remains resolute, insisting the search was lawful and that the notes are admissible evidence. Assistant U.S. Attorney Christy Slavic argued that the Bureau of Prisons conducted the sweep as part of a routine operation to address contraband and illicit substances within the facility. She emphasized that no member of the prosecution team was involved in or aware of the search, distancing herself and her colleagues from allegations of misconduct. Slavic also dismissed the defense's claims of attorney-client privilege, noting that the notes contained to-do lists and other writings unrelated to legal advice. A plan to pay off a witness and dig up dirt on two different victims is not privileged, she told the court, reinforcing the prosecution's assertion that the notes expose a deliberate effort by Diddy to obstruct justice.
So there's a few things going on. First is the privilege issue. The judge will decide whether the documents are privileged or not. If they're not, they're going to go to the government. If the documents are not only not privileged, but they're evidence of witness tampering, then a few things can happen, all of which are bad for Sean Diddy Combs. First, of course, it faced obstruction of justice charges in a superseding indictment.
U.S. District Judge Arun Subramanian, overseeing the case, appears to be proceeding with caution. While he has ordered prosecutors to delete all copies of the notes for now, he has also placed the original documents under court seal until the issue of privilege is resolved. This decision effectively leaves the notes in legal limbo, giving both sides time to argue their positions. For the defense, it's a small but meaningful victory, providing a window to challenge the seizure of the notes entirely. Diddy, of using his time in jail to orchestrate a public relations campaign aimed at influencing potential jurors. According to court documents, Diddy allegedly instructed his children to post a birthday video for him on social media, a move prosecutors described as a calculated attempt to sway public opinion. They also claimed he made multiple calls to potential witnesses using other inmates' phone accounts to evade detection. These allegations, combined with the handwritten notes found in his cell, depict a man, prosecutors argue, is willing to go to great lengths to tilt the scales of justice in his favor.
He doesn't kind of buy what the prosecution's selling. He thinks they've looked at the notes.
Yeah.
He thinks that they're cheating.
I mean, I would think that too.
But apparently what happened is commonplace.
Despite the serious allegations against him, Diddy's defense team has successfully shifted the spotlight to what they argue are significant flaws in the prosecution's case. Mark Agnifilo has consistently emphasized that his client's rights were violated, accusing the government of overreach and misconduct at every opportunity. With the judge now closely examining the legality of the cell raid, the defense is seizing the moment to reshape the narrative. By focusing on the government's handling of the case rather than Diddy's alleged actions, They hope to undermine the prosecution's credibility.
The 90s.
Music business. It's a lot of people.
It's not just the music business. It's like it's the extortion business.
Well, I mean, the rap game was crazy. That's a thing a lot of people don't realize is like back in the day, especially like early rap game, you weren't just going to play at, what's the random theater that you would play in LA?
It's a high-stakes gamble, but one that could pay off if the defense convinces the court that the prosecution's case rests on shaky ground. The controversy surrounding the notes has already ignited a broader debate about the limits of law enforcement and the rights of defendants, especially those with the resources.
There's people on both sides, right? There's the people on the right that are trying to nail the people that are on the left with this. There's people that are journalists that are trying to nail the people that were involved in this.
This is it. Yeah.
And they've managed to keep that list from coming out, which shows you how powerful certain people are. That should show you a lot. That should be terrifying.
As the courtroom drama intensifies, one thing is certain. Both sides are in it to win, and neither is backing down. For Diddy, the stakes couldn't be higher. With his reputation, fortune, and freedom hanging in the balance, he has spared no expense in assembling a top-tier legal team to defend him. For prosecutors, this case is more than a high-profile trial. It's an opportunity to hold a powerful figure accountable for what they allege are years of unchecked wrongdoing. It's a battle of titans, and the outcome will not only shape Diddy's future, but could also influence the broader conversation about justice and accountability for the rich and famous.
But that's what people are saying, and maybe everybody's a conspiracy theorist now. But that's what people are saying about the Diddy situation. Like when the feds rolled up, with the Hummers and shit, they're like, it wasn't about Diddy. It was about if there were tapes of powerful people there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
They were the ones that called. They're like, I need to protect myself, so go in there with all the things and rip any tapes or any evidence.
The tension in the courtroom is palpable, with every argument, objection, and ruling carrying the weight of a case that has captivated the public's attention. While the legal wrangling over the notes may seem like a procedural sideshow, it could prove to be a pivotal moment in a trial that has already defied expectations at every turn. As the judge prepares to rule on the issue of privilege, all eyes are on Diddy and his defense team, wondering if their latest strategy will be enough to tip the scales in their favor. Yet, as the legal drama unfolds, the shadow of the allegations themselves remains ever present, looming large over the case. The questions surrounding Diddy's actions and the stories of those who have come forward to accuse him lie at the heart of this unfolding saga, setting the stage for what promises to be a trial like no other.
Rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
The story of Sean Diddy Combs takes a darker turn as the layers of what prosecutors are calling one of the most disturbing cases to shake the entertainment industry in years are peeled back. While Diddy's legal team battles over notes and procedural violations, the focus is increasingly shifting toward the heart of the allegations against him, and the picture being painted is far from glamorous. For decades, Diddy was revered as the king of parties, the man who could turn any gathering into the most exclusive, talked-about event in Hollywood. But now, those same high-profile events are under scrutiny as the backdrop for what prosecutors and accusers claim was a pattern of behavior that went well beyond mere indulgence. What was once only whispered about within industry circles is now being thrust into the public eye, and the details are nothing short of shocking.
Someone said that they weren't there to take stuff, they were there to delete everything. Like the real people that were in there,
Oh,
like
that's
the same
funny.
thing with Epstein.
Oh, that's
Let's start with the so-called break-offs, the private, late-night gatherings that reportedly followed Diddy's high-profile parties. These events were legendary, cloaked in secrecy, and attended by some of the biggest names in Hollywood. Celebrities like Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lopez, Beyoncé, and Jay-Z have all been photographed at Diddy's parties over the years. But according to court documents and witness testimonies, the real activity didn't kick off until the red carpet was rolled up and the cameras were gone. Sources describe these after-house gatherings as a completely different kind of party, one where the rules didn't just bend, they were thrown out the window. Attendees were allegedly handpicked by Diddy himself, and the guest list was kept so exclusive that even some of the most famous faces in the world were left wondering what truly went on behind those closed doors.
Of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers.
What makes these allegations even more disturbing is the level of meticulous planning involved in these events. Prosecutors claim that Diddy didn't just host parties, he orchestrated them like full-scale productions, complete with assistants, security teams, and detailed instructions to ensure everything went exactly as he envisioned. Witnesses have described hotel suites stocked with everything from lavish decor to supplies that suggest far more than just a celebration. While some guests may have attended simply for the music and atmosphere, others allege they were pressured or manipulated into participating in activities they never consented to. These accusations have sparked widespread outrage, particularly given the power dynamics at play. When someone as influential as Diddy invites you to a party, saying no isn't always as simple as it seems.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
One of the most chilling aspects of this case is the growing number of people coming forward, each with their own stories about what transpired at these gatherings. Attorney Tony Busby, who represents over 120 individuals, has been outspoken about the breadth of the allegations. He's even sent demand letters to celebrities who attended these events, warning them that their silence could make them complicit. According to Busby, if you were there and you saw what was happening and didn't speak up, you're just as responsible as those who orchestrated it. His words have sent shockwaves through Hollywood, with many celebrities now scrambling to distance themselves from Diddy and his infamous parties.
Everybody who tells the stories like, I saw I go upstairs and these dudes are like right on the couch.
Yeah.
And then I go in this room and these guys are
Yeah.
like,
And pros. Like, apparently he was getting male gigolos to girls.
girls.
Yeah, that was one of the rumors, like the
Male
freak off. So he would
gigolos.
hire the professional to have with the girls. And I think he would watch allegedly.
While some have remained silent, others have begun to share their experiences, some in support of the accusers and others to defend themselves. Ashton Kutcher, for example, has admitted to attending Diddy's parties in the past, but insists he never witnessed anything inappropriate. "I've got a lot I can't tell," he said in an interview, before adding, "I'm actually cycling through them Diddy party stories, man. That was some weird memory."
Okay, so then there's the question. It's like, can you take a completely normal person, give them power, and then they become that? Or does it take a power-hungry person that has this void that needs to be filled, and then when they are given that power, you see the worst version of them?
Ask your CIA boy. I bet he's got the answers. I bet he knows the exact formula.
To corrupting somebody
Yeah.
or to...
What happens?
Like-
What happens?
However, not everyone in Hollywood is rushing to clear their names. Some have chosen to remain tight-lipped, which has only fueled speculation about who knew what and when. Others, however, have come forward with stories that seem to confirm the most disturbing aspects of the allegations. One particularly damning account comes from a woman named Tenna Wallace, who claims she was flown to one of Diddy's events by a Saudi businessman. According to Wallace, the party was unlike anything she had ever witnessed, with attendees engaging in activities that deeply unsettled her. Her most shocking claim involved seeing individuals who appeared far too young to be at such an event, surrounded by adults in an environment she described as anything but appropriate. Wallace's testimony has been denied by Diddy's legal team, who have questioned her credibility and dismissed her allegations as baseless. These latest accusations have also brought renewed attention to other lawsuits and claims against Diddy. One of the most notable cases is that of Cassandra Ventura, better known as Cassie, who filed a civil suit against him last year. In her lawsuit, Cassie alleges that she endured years of emotional and physical abuse during her relationship with the music mogul. While Diddy initially denied the claims, a video later emerged that appeared to show him physically attacking Cassie in a hotel hallway. The footage, which quickly went viral, has been described as a turning point in the case, emboldening other accusers to come forward with their own stories.
Man, I ain't gonna lie.
Among the new accusers is Talia Graves, who claims that Diddy restrained and assaulted her in the early 2000s. Graves alleges that Diddy recorded the encounter without her consent and later showed the footage to others, a claim that his legal team has yet to publicly address. These allegations, combined with the mounting testimonies from other accusers, have painted a troubling picture of someone who allegedly used his wealth and inclusion to control and exploit those around him. While Diddy has pleaded not guilty to all charges, the sheer volume of accusations has made it increasingly difficult for him to maintain his innocence in the court of public opinion. What makes this case even more complex is the potential involvement of other celebrities. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, photos and videos have surfaced showing Diddy with some of the biggest names in Hollywood, from Usher to Kim Kardashian to Paris Hilton. While it's unclear how many of these individuals were aware of the allegations or directly involved in the events described, their association with Diddy has sparked questions about the culture of silence that often surrounds powerful figures in the entertainment industry. As attorney Tony Busby has stated, this isn't just about one man. This is about a system that allowed this kind of behavior to continue for years without anyone stepping in to stop it. The broader implications of this case are hard to ignore. For many, it's a dark reminder of the power imbalances that exist in industries like music and film, where success often depends on who you know and what you're willing to tolerate. It also serves as a wake-up call for those who have turned a blind eye to the darker side of celebrity culture, choosing to focus on the glitz and glamour while ignoring the people who may have been harmed along the way. For Diddy, this is a moment of reckoning, one that could not only change his life, but also the lives of those who have been affected by his alleged actions.
Oh, man, I just had like a 3.5-hour cry.
As the trial approaches, the stakes couldn't be higher. Diddy's legal team is working tirelessly to discredit the allegations and undermine the prosecution's case, while accusers and their attorneys remain determined to ensure justice is served. The world will be watching closely not only to see whether Diddy is found guilty or innocent.
As far as, is he going to turn people in? Is he going to cooperate? If the federal government wants him to cooperate and they're going to cut his time, because right now he's looking at 15 to life. With all the charges he has to, he won't get out till 70 years old. He about 70. That's when they start talking about letting him come to a halfway house.
And yet, as the courtroom battle intensifies, one question lingers. Can Diddy truly escape the shadow of these allegations? For all his wealth and influence, the tide of public opinion seems to be turning against him, with many once loyal fans now questioning the man behind the brand. Whether or not he is found guilty, the damage to his reputation may already be irreversible, leaving behind a legacy far more complicated than the one he spent decades building. As the spotlight continues to shine on Diddy, it's clear that this story is about more than just one man. It's about power, accountability, and the people who are finally finding the courage to speak out. While the outcome of the trial remains uncertain, the impact of these revelations will likely be felt for years to come. So, what do you think? Is Diddy's latest legal maneuver a genius move or a desperate ploy? And how do you believe these allegations will impact his legacy in the music industry? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding drama. Until next time,